Hi, my name is Mark Olson. I'm the head women's soccer coach here at McPherson College. This presentation probably going to take about 30 minutes, but what it does is it gives you a great idea of what our program is about. It goes into great detail of what we've done here, how we evaluate players, and what our program's about. And I'm doing it this way. Usually I do it on visit days when you're here, but I'm doing it this way so that you can have an idea before you get here. And then when you get here and train with the team, meet with the team, talk, talk with the team, go to lunch, have a campus tour, you're going to actually see everything that I'm talking about in this presentation is actually what happens with our program, because that's important. I mean, the idea is that if you choose McPherson College, when you show up in August, it's exactly how I'm describing it. It's exactly how you see it on your visit. And if that's the case, then you're going to love it here. There's nothing worse than being sold a bill of goods and then showing up and it not being what it needs to be or not being how it was presented. That's one of the reasons why our retention rate's so high here at McPherson College, and especially with our women's soccer program. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I hope you enjoy the program, but at the end of the day, you're going to know everything there is to know about this women's soccer program. So here is our women's soccer program this year. It's 29 players from all over the place. Let's see. My name is, like I said, Mark Olson. This is my sixth season, fourth season as head coach, 2 years as an associate head coach. Kayla Faust is in her first season here. She is a McPherson College grad. She played for me for 2 seasons. But some things that are important is that you're going to get professionalism, commitment, individual attention, and what our players love and hate at the same time is open and honest feedback. When we're talking with our players, when I'm talking with the recruits, I'm completely honest with them, and they can appreciate it. Now, does it mean they like hearing everything that I'm saying to them all the time? No, but they know where they stand. And that's more important than just me telling them what they want to hear. They know exactly where they stand. They know what they need to do, and we move forward. And, it's been great so far. Some things about our soccer program, we have 29 players on this year's roster, 8 from Kansas, 6 from Texas, 5 from California, 4 from Nevada, 3 from Colorado. We have 7 junior college transfers on the team, 22 freshmen. We're freshman heavy as far as people coming into the program overall as freshmen or starting as freshmen. As you can see, we recruit all over the place. This is actually, we have more Kansas kids than we've ever had before. So it's very important that when we talk with players, when they show up, because of the fact that we have so many players from all over the place, we create a family environment here. We show that support. It's very important that they get to know my family. They get to know my wife who works in the admissions department. They get to know my kids, because if they're having a rough day, they can't just get in the car and go home and talk with mom and dad, and go see them. They have to rely on their teammates, and their teammates have to be able to support them. So that's why it's so important that we have a family environment here. This year, we graduate 9 seniors. And I'm looking to have about 25 to 30 players. Like I said, out of the 29, 22 of those 29 came in as freshmen. Doesn't mean they're freshmen now, but they came in as freshmen, so they've been here 2, 3, 4 years. And that's important because of retention. They understand what we're doing here, and they're happy, and they love the experience. Here's our soccer facility, or here's our sports facility, in fact. The football team, or the football field right there, there's one change. We got a new turf a couple years ago. So there's a giant Bulldog in the middle. The soccer field, to the right of the soccer field, there's brand new tennis courts that were put in this last summer, and then the practice football field. We play our games on both the football field and soccer field. In the evening time, we play for night games. We play on the football field. We don't have lights yet on our grass field yet. Here's what it looks like again. This is a phenomenal field. When we built the field, I think they built it 10 years ago. They put all the money into the field. It's an underwater drip system. All the fans line up along the fence at the top of the screen. Benches are on the opposite side. But the fact that when you step on this field, you want to take your shoes off and you don't want to put your shoes back on. It's Bermuda grass. It's a phenomenal playing pitch for them. And then when it rains and pours and we don't want to mess up our field, we'll go to the football practice field over on the right and mess that one up. So why McPherson? You know, the individual and personal attention. When players show up here, when students show up here, professors get to know them. Coaches get to know them. Every single coach knows the players on my team because they treat them as individuals. You know, you're not just a number. You're not just someone showing up on campus. You get that individual feeling. Family and supportive environment. You know, we've talked about that. We have so many players not from Kansas that you have to rely on your teammates to support you. And it's not just within the team. You rely on other players, on other teams, your professors. Everyone is here to support you. That's the beauty of a small college. Career services. This is what sold me on McPherson College. The career service program, the whole reason why they exist is that they want to help you get your foot in the door. They want to help you get internships, get whatever opportunities that you want. They want to provide that for you. You know, some people think going to a small college, you have limited opportunities. That's not the case here at McPherson College. Our career service department, they do a phenomenal job in getting your foot in the door. Now, once your foot's in the door, it's up to you to show that employer, that potential employer, what you can do. But they will do everything to market you, to provide people with information so that you can get your foot in the door and get those opportunities. Come in, we'll support women's soccer program. I don't know very many programs that have their own fields. A lot of times they're shared with football team, lacrosse team, whoever else. That grass field, no one touches except for the men's and women's soccer program. And then when we want to use the turf, we're able to use the turf. So we have two facilities. The women's soccer program here, you know, at a lot of schools, it's football, basketball, men's soccer, baseball, whatever. And then finally you get to women's soccer. And that's not the case here at all. And you'll see that when you come visit. The importance of graduating. I mean, you're going to college to graduate to get that career going. Some things that we do in August. So every player showed up on campus August 9th. And during the month of August, we try and do different team building activities. We played paintball in the past. We played bubble ball where everyone's in a big old bubble and you're playing soccer in there. We've done soccer golf. But we try and, you know, get players to get to know each other off the field. And that's important. So when I recruit players, when I go to a showcase or when I'm talking with players, I want players that have a passion to succeed. I want players that want to be held accountable. You know, it doesn't always feel good to be held accountable, but here, how we do it, it's not about what you're doing wrong. It's about how we can help you improve in a certain area. And you can't do that unless you hold players accountable. Commitment. Player that competes, communicates openly, is committed to the team first, and then teamwork. You know, no one player is any more important than another. We're a family. In fact, after the first couple days, you won't ever hear us talk about, hey, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors. Nah, it's a women's soccer program. You know, we don't talk, it doesn't matter what class you're in. It's a women's soccer program. So this year's a little bit different, where normally we break it into 4 seasons. You know, normally we have a preseason in August, then non-conference games August and September, and then conference games in October and November, and then playoffs in November. This year with COVID and everything, our school is committed to playing. And what we've done is we start our games on September 5th. We'll play 9 conference games every Saturday, or 1 conference game every Saturday, but we'll play 9 in the fall. Then the players will get December and January off to go home. That's where they're concentrating on their finals, and then they go home and see their families over the holiday. Then they come back in January, and then we'll play a couple games in March, and then we have our conference tournament in April, and then nationals also in April. So this year's a little bit different. On the screen is a typical year of our schedule and how we treat it. During the winter, like I said, December and January off, and then during the winter, we'll play futsal, we'll play 6-on-6 tournaments. We'll train 2 to 4 times a week normally. This year it'll be a little bit different. We also do a spring youth academy. The players love this because it gets them involved with the community. Usually we have about 200, 250 kids. College players train the kids in small groups twice a week, just playing small games, teaching in the technical side of the game. But what it does is it connects us with the community. It's a good fundraiser for us. The nice thing about it is when our players see these little kids in the community, these little kids are coming up to them, giving a high five, and it's led to job opportunities. It's led to community people that have never been involved with the soccer program here at McPherson to come to games because their little kids look up to these players. Their children love watching these players and interacting with them. So this is what I'm most proud about with our program. This is what sets us aside. First off, how we evaluate players, the interval standard. I've talked to a lot of professional coaches about this stuff, and a lot of programs do testing, fitness testing when you show up in August. And I don't like that. I don't believe in that. That's why we have a standard here of fitness. And what we use the interval standard for is it's similar to the beep test, but players are given a complete schedule summer workout program here. And if they do that, when they show up in August, they won't have any problem meeting our standard. But those players that struggle with the standard are new to kind of college soccer. They usually don't come in completely ready. So what the standard does, or the interval standard does, is it gauges where they're at physically so that we can help them progress with their fitness so that they're not getting injured. The number one reason for injury is players are not fit and they're reaching for balls. They're trying to do things that their body just physically can't do. And that's how they're getting injured. So this helps us bring players up to speed over the first 3 weeks rather than just killing them. The second thing is competitive culture. We keep track of stats, wins and losses for 4v4, 2v2, 3v3, possession, all kinds of things. And what this does is it allows our players to compete with each other without the fear of after practice, so-and-so is mad at so-and-so because they were hard on me today at practice. No, it's okay to compete with each other here. And they understand that once they step off the field, it's over. It's over. Whatever happens on the field stays there. And I didn't know how this would work at first. But after that first year, when the players finally got used to it, they love it because they can compete as hard as they can on the field. And they know after practice, we're all friends. And there's nothing being taken off the pitch so far. This next thing, the Instat program, we record every game that we play. In fact, every game that we play is streamed live. So you'll be able to watch every single game of ours this year through our athletic website. But Instat is a program that we record our games, and they evaluate every single player on the field. They give an unbiased evaluation of every single player. And what it looks like, it is actually the sheet that every player gets is they'll get an individual email from this company. It gives every single stat about them. It will also show clips. Every play that they were involved in, they'll receive a clip. And what it does is these are the areas that breaks down. So if you look at actions versus successful, this particular player in this game had 77 actions, 52 of those were successful. 68% of the time she was involved with the game, something positive happened out of it. It breaks down your passing. She had 34 passes in the game, 22 of them were accurate for 65%. It breaks down to forward, backward, right, left, who you pass the ball. Is there a particular player on the team that you're always trying to get the ball to? And we can see that and then make appropriate changes during practice. Great example of this is an attacking player, and she had 10 attacking challenges where she was going at players, and she only won 2 of those. So she only beat the defender 2 times out of 10 in this particular game. What do you think we were practicing on that next Monday and Tuesday? A lot of 1v1. Or was she just making poor decisions and trying to take on 2 players when she should have been opening up? So she'll get this evaluation, she'll see that, and then during our positional type training, so we have team training and then we have small group positional training, we'll be working on those. We'll be working on decision making. We'll be working with her on her 1v1 attacking skills. And then our next game, we'll be able to evaluate whether she's improved in that area or didn't. It goes down to, picking up free balls, lost balls, ball recovery, in your own half, in the opponent's half. It breaks everything down. And what we do is we use these evaluations as an unbiased, information. Most of the time when a coach is evaluating players, they have different outlooks. And I was guilty of this. I really like this player. She does a great job. So I'm either probably going to be overcritical or I'm going to let some things slide unconsciously. I'm not going to know I'm doing this. It's just natural. Well, what the interval standard, what the competitive culture, and what the InStat program does is it takes the bias completely out of it. So when a player comes into my office and talks about playing time or what can I do better, we break these things out and they are given a true evaluation without my opinion, without their own opinion involved with that part of it. Now, why don't more programs do this stuff? Every single parent, every single player that have come through our program that's seen this, all agree that they could all be helpful things. There's 2 reasons why. Number 1, women's soccer program is not supported very well at a lot of schools. Well, InStat's expensive, all this stuff takes a little bit of money. Our programs support it. It's in our budget. I don't have to fundraise to provide this stuff for our players that they love. The other thing is it takes time. One of the benefits that I have here at McPherson College is I don't teach classes and I don't have to work part-time jobs. I don't have to coach 4 club teams. So the players know that at any point they want to get a hold of me, they can send me a text, call me, FaceTime, whatever. It's not uncommon for me to get a text message at 11 o'clock going, hey, coach, with a question about the next day. And they'll get a response within a few minutes. They can walk into my office at any point. I'm surprised that one hasn't walked in today yet, but they're coming in my office all the time just to see how things are going. So it's that communication. Post-practice analysis after every training session, Kayla and I come back to the office and we're evaluating every single player's day on how they did that day. You're here, number 1, to get your degree. Class attendance is monitored, grade checks, graduation plans. These things are in place not to be a babysitter. That's not what I am. I want to help your daughter be successful in the classroom. And if there's areas that they're having issues with, problems with, I want to make sure that we're involved and we're helping them get the help that they need through the Career Center or the Student Center. Soccer study halls, I thought we'd have to do this when I first started, but we haven't had to have formal study halls. We will if we need to, but the players do a great job holding each other accountable in the classroom. Since 2015, our team has maintained over a 3.0 GPA. It's usually closer to 3.3, 3.5. But I'm very proud of our team on how they do in the classroom. The professors here respect our players. They know that they work hard, and that's why they do everything they can to help them out. So when you commit to McPherson College, you can expect to receive a great education. What is one of the most important pieces of paper you can receive when you graduate? A lot of people think it's a diploma. That's what I thought. No, it's a recommendation letter. It's a personal recommendation letter from a professor. 2 years ago, the first recruit I ever recruited at McPherson College, she went through biochemistry. Based off of a letter of recommendation, she was able to go to Puerto Rico, everything paid for, 6 months working in a hospital there, completely taken care of, and now she's in med school back here, doing a phenomenal job. But that's the power of a personal recommendation letter. They know who you are. They can talk personally about you, and that's important. Be held accountable and challenged every day. I mean, during training sessions, our players understand that it's okay to mess up. I want them pushing themselves as hard as they can. I don't want them feeling comfortable during training sessions. Because when you're comfortable, you're going at a slower speed. You're going at a controlled speed that you know that you won't mess up. Well, that doesn't work because we want you to improve. We want you to push yourself. We want you to be okay with messing up during training sessions, so that in a game, you're ready to go. You're playing at top speed. Next thing is be supported both on and off the field. I mean, professors, coaches, administration, teams, they get to know you. They know your name. You're not just a number here. And they come out and support you. An opportunity to compete for quality minutes on a varsity team. I mean, here's the thing. I have 30 players because I want every single player to feel like they are able to compete for quality minutes. And by the time you get injuries, you're down to 23, 24 players. There's a lot of time, a lot of opportunities for you. There's a lot of programs that have 35, 40, 45 players. That's wonderful. They have JV programs, but to me, you're not going to a school to play 2 or 3 years in JV and then finally get an opportunity to play varsity. To me, that's not putting a program together. Everyone trains together here. Everyone's working for the same goal. Everyone has that opportunity to step on the field. Now, what I tell the players all the time is once you step on the field, make me look like a fool to take you off because you're playing so well. Make a difference every time you step on the field. And if you do that, you have all kinds of opportunities. Life after McPherson College, over 95% of our graduates find jobs within 6 months. National average is over 50%. That's because of the Career Center. They do everything they can to market you. They do everything they can to get you in internships, networking, everything. And that's why that rate is so high at 95%. You know, when I graduated, they handed me my diploma and said, hey, good luck, here you go. And then I'm looking around going, okay, now what? Scholarship thoughts. We're able to stack scholarships here. I'm able to give you academic scholarship and athletic scholarship. Academic is based off of your GPA and your ACT or SAT score. So just because you're a senior, don't slack off in the classroom, work as hard as you can. When it comes to those test scores, don't wait to take tests in the spring. Last year was a great example. They closed all the ACT and SAT testing centers. So take those tests so that when you're going to colleges, you can have those scores ready. And then I'll be ready to offer you scholarships. What you can expect after today, well, you're going to get a phone call from me. Here in the next couple of weeks, you're going to get a phone call. And if you have any questions, I'm going to answer them and do whatever I can to help you out. But then you're going to be invited to a visit day. And on that visit day, you're going to come to campus. You're going to train with the team. You're going to meet the players. You're going to get a campus tour. You're going to meet with admissions. There's a particular professor that you'd like to speak with. You're going to be able to get set up with them. But that's the next phase. And then after that, we're going to talk about scholarships. We're going to talk about a budget sheet where we break down everything that you'll be receiving scholarship-wise and what it would actually cost to come here. You know, a lot of programs will say, hey, I'm going to give you $25,000, but you don't know where it's coming from. Well, we break everything down for you so that you completely understand when you show up on campus, this is what it costs here. The nice thing about it is, you know, like I said, we have academic scholarships, we have athletic scholarships. We also have the debt program, which is phenomenal, and a lot of our players are involved with this, but what it is it's a work type program where if you're involved with the debt program, every dollar that you pay towards your school, McPherson will pay 25 cents. So for every $100 you pay towards your bill that you have to pay anyways, $25 more will be put towards your bill by the college. So it's basically free money for what you're going to be expected to do anyways. And that's if you have to work, which most of our players, they do work. I mean, as much as I would like to make college free, I can't do that. But we do try and help you out as much as we can. That's when making a decision, you know, the number one thing is make sure you're comfortable. Wherever you go, make sure you feel comfortable, you feel supported. You're wanted. You know, you're not just a number. You're not just a player that the coach recruited because he needs more JV players. Make sure that you're wanted. Make a difference. Go to a place that you can make a difference. Then it's your decision. It's not your teammates. No, I talked to a lot of players that they want to go somewhere just because another teammate went. Or they're going to a Division II school and they think that they have to go there. No, go to a school that fits you, that fits your style, that will benefit you. Invest towards your future. Development. Are you going to develop a program? Know how you're going to develop in a program. These are all great questions, you know, when you go visit other schools as well. And that's what part of this is most of the time when you go visit a school, you don't know what to ask. Well, if you don't ask questions, the coach is only going to give you the answers that he wants you to have. So ask questions. Know, be informed of what you're going into. And that's one of the reasons why when I was coaching club soccer, you know, coaches weren't giving advice. And what I want you to do is no matter where you go, have these questions answered to you. Okay, I hope it's McPherson College, but if it's not, at least you made an informed decision that's best for you. And support from the program. Know that the women's soccer program here is very well supported. How are you supported both in the classroom and on the field? Next steps in life. And at some point, if you're not interested in McPherson, it's okay to let me know that. A great example of this is we had a JUCO player this year from California, phenomenal player, attacking mid, she's phenomenal. When you watch our games this year, you're going to be able to point her out right away. She calls me up and says, Coach, I'm going to choose this other school. And, you know, I appreciate everything that you've done, but I just think that I want to go this other school. And I said, okay, if something changes, let me know. So she verbally committed to this school. And about a month later, I get a phone call from that same player. And she goes, Coach, I made a horrible mistake. I told them I was going there. And the moment I told them I was going there, I stopped getting emails. I stopped getting contacted. I didn't feel like I was a part of the program, even though I told them I wanted to go there. And they offered me scholarship and everything. But I just didn't feel like they were including me in anything. So, Coach, would you take me back? Will you honor the scholarship that you offered? And because of how she handled it in the first place, left that door open for her. She was respectful. She was honest with me. I understand people make mistakes, and she did. And now she's doing phenomenal. And you'll be able to see her play. I mean, you'll see a difference right away with her. But she, when she wasn't interested, she was honest with me, and we went from there. And it turned out great for both of us. So here's our Twitter page. Here's the Facebook page. Instagram's at the bottom. We don't use Facebook too much, more Twitter and Instagram, but make sure you follow us. The next steps is, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I know it was long. I apologize for that. But I think it's important that you know everything there is to know about a program. And when you come and visit, an actual visit on campus, you're going to be able to think about this program and apply it to, this is what we are. And everything that we talked about is actually what we do here. So good luck with your future games. You have one this weekend or whenever. Good luck with school, your junior, senior year. But anything you need, look for a phone call from me for the next couple weeks. And hey, have a wonderful day. It's a great day to be a Bulldog. Thank you.